Yes, people, it's never a foul, and this is the Tottenham segment. If you was here yesterday, you would have saw it was a Liverpool one, but today it's Tottenham. They play West Ham. Jordz is going to be going to the game, but he's going to be here just to talk to you guys. I'm sure he's going to has a few questions for everyone in the panel as well. We're going to be joined by Alan a little bit late, in about 15, 20 minutes, just a little bit late. But yeah, man, and obviously we got another guest in. Well, you'll see who it is. You all know who it is, man. He's got all the merch on today. He looks like he's actually going to the game. I hope he's going to the game. I'm just going to call him a full kit wanker, innit? Why not? But without further ado, I'm just going to run the intro quick. Yeah, man. Just joined by my co-host, obviously Jordz, writing there live and direct and that. How we been, man? Look, got the merch.
I'm good, man. Kit. I'm good. Like, yeah, man. Of course, I've always got the merch, and I've got the new shirt on 10 on my back. You already know what it is. Yeah, man. J4 Jordz, you already know. Get to know. I ain't got my do-rag on today though, because you know it's West Ham, it's a rivals. It might get a bit scrappy, so have to stay correct.
Yeah, man. You have to protect yourself from the irons by putting a little bit of toothpaste around the neck, that green stuff. But other than that, big up guys in the comments. Make sure you're liking the video. It's nice to see 20 people in here already. Nice and live. Big up United Spurs America, Jacob. Big up Sid. Big up, obviously, well, never a foul in it, obviously, all the time. Big up Ilyas in here as well. And big up Norwich guy. Allow it, man. Allow it. But bringing in our guests, yeah, definitely. Bringing in our guest. Going to be going for about 45 minutes. Just do a little bit, you can say a little bit of a preview, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But a guy that's going to come in who's literally dressed up, ready to go out. He needs to tell me, you know. Big up Patrick in the building, man. Make sure you go check out his social and his YouTube in the description below. But are you going to the game?
Nah, man. I'm obviously you invited me on. I've got to represent, like George says, we've got to represent loud and proud. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah.
Tottenham to the core. TTID, Tottenham till I die. You see that? So yeah, man. Come on, I've got to represent. It's all good. Flexing. I've got the shirt's looking. The gym's going all right.
Innit?
Come on, yeah, innit? Come on, let's go. Let's go.
I kind of like that Spurs shirt. I quite like that Spurs shirt. Is that from last season?
Yeah, third kit last season. So this is the.
I've got that.
This is gonna. I actually need to hang this up. Put this on the wall. Sonny Golden Boot. No one gave him a chance. Man, coming with the 23 goals, no penalties. Bim bam bong, you know what it is. So yeah, man, it's all good. But yeah, Kaz, what's good, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Just came from Side TV. Jacob, if you're around, join in. You can join in as well. You know,
yeah,
the links in the WhatsApp.
If
you're here,
quality,
Jacob, man.
Yeah.
You're one of the guys, bro. So if you got that time, jump in, bro. But
get him on.
And big up MH in this. So big up you, man. But your teams make me sick. Wait, who do you support? I can't tell.
Who does MH support? I need to before I reply. I need to know who he supports. But yeah, big up MH anyway. Thanks for the love on the comments. Even though we need to know a bit more about you before we can reply.
So what do you think? What do you think? Your teams make me sick. I'm gonna have a guess. I'll just a quick one. I'm just gonna have a quick guess.
Either Arsenal or Chelsea. Oh, your teams. He said teams, right? Not team.
I got a feeling he supports Chelsea.
Yeah, Arsenal,
potentially.
Chelsea.
We have a lot of rivals. We have a lot of haters right now. Everyone hates on Tottenham right now because we're doing so well. But that's all they can do. But let's talk about the weekend anyway. We played some would say a tough game. Oh wait, go on, Cass. Is there one more guest? Oh wait, Cass has got a second. He's gonna bounce away.
Me and Cass's little model. Look at Cass's little. Look at his model picture.
Look at his face, man. His little poser, man. Everyone needs to take a little screenshot of that.
Hey, you know what it is?
That's a Love Island picture. I like it.
Nah, that picture's like 2 years, bro.
Been doing streaming with the ladies.
You man don't understand it. Nah, when I was fit, yeah, like 2 years ago, before I brushed out my curls and everything and my hair, like now I just got a little secret, innit? Like my mom's got me because of her thick curly hair, gave me wavy hair, innit? And then I just brushed them out. They're jarring, bro. That's what happens when it goes. If I don't wash it for like 3 days, bro, I'm telling you now, it just goes mad greasy and nasty. And bro,
you see the comments. Someone's like, "Nah, what was that trim?"
Come on, I always. You know what, my brother? Yeah, I'm not joking. Yeah, always. Wherever you are if you're in England, bro, we can go in any city, and I guarantee I'll draw more girls with my trim and that trim than you will. Like, I'll do it right there, right now. All right, cool. I need to bounce with that too.
Well, Cass is bouncing again. we're gonna get started. Me and Pat are gonna get straight into the Nottingham Forest game. So yeah, as I was saying, some will say it was a game that we were dominated in. Some will say it was a tough game, but I'll say it was a game that we showed a lot of resilience in. Pat, why don't you get us stuck into it? Of course, it was a game where it was lackluster, but what was your thoughts on the overall performance? And
definitely a game of two halves. Big respect to Nottingham Forest. I knew it would be a tough one. Yes, they're a team that got newly promoted. Yes, they're a team with a lot of new faces. They brought in maybe 16, 17. I think it's up to 18 signings. Some will say it's too much. Nottingham Forest faithful will say that they needed to bring in this amount of players after losing so many in the summer or just before obviously the end of the season. Yeah, they're going to be one of the trickiest and stickiest grounds to go to. Every fan gave 100%. It's a stadium where literally everyone's on top of the players. They're loud and proud. They're happy to be back in the Premier League, and you're going to see it. It's not a weird one. I think football is a game which is the reason why people love football is because there's so many levels and facets to football, and there's more than one way to play. There's more than one way to skin a cat. You can play tiki-taka football, have all the possession in the world, and essentially walk the ball into the net like your best Man City teams did, and even Arsenal under Arsene Wenger in their heyday, and even when you're looking at the Santi Cazorla, Giroud, Theo Walcott, Jack Wilshere teams, they literally pass the ball into the net and try to score the perfect goal. Conte doesn't want to do that. Conte will proceed, will concede possession, and he will control essentially his penalty box and the other penalty box, and literally, yeah, cool, you can have the ball. We only play two in midfield, so more than likely we will get overrun in midfield. But what you want to do is, as a Conte team, you want to be very, very compact and hard to break down in defense. And then obviously on the break, Son, Kane and Kulusevski will kill you and punish you if they're given a chance. So yes, they had 55% of the ball, we had 45%. But if you actually deep it, Lloris made one save. I don't ever recall Lloris being peppered. I don't ever recall Lloris being under duress. Our defense having to make back to the wall saves, clearing the ball off the line. There was none of that. Their only shot on target was from outside the box, where we had chance after chance. And on another day, we beat that team 3-4, 5-0. I mean, Kane missed a penalty, so that should have been 3. Then we had other chances where Son wasn't at his best. Lloris picked out Kane. Kane took too long to pull the trigger. There was other chances. So, yeah, I mean, of course, I want to see us control the ball more, but I never once felt threatened by Nottingham Forest. That's just me. I never felt shit. We're under the cosh here. We need to get at 1-0 after Kane scored. I tell a lie. Sorry, after Kane missed a penalty. I was like, it's just our luck. They'll probably go and score now. But once Richarlison got onto the ball and whipped in that cross, 2-0. Game was over. And this is what I mean. Like, people spoke about Richarlison and the price tag, and I always said it. He's a good player. You're going to see him add another dimension to Tottenham. Every time the guys come on, you've seen how good of a player he is. Even in these little cameos, he's made a difference. And that assist with the outside of the boot, that was cheeky. That's naughty.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful, man. Like, it's literally R9-esque. The outside of the boot, he put it in there. The way he won the ball back as well. It reminded me of what young Delhi used to do for us, that tenacity to go out there and just win the ball no matter what, and then put in a beautiful cross. But I have to agree with you on a lot of what you said, Pat. It was obviously a game of two halves. I don't think we can sustain those performances, and especially in the game tonight where it's going to be hostile and against West Ham, I don't think we'll be able to concede as many chances without conceding a goal. But we have to put some respect on our team and our defense that we've played badly in these games, but we've managed to pull out points. We've never been able to do this before. Conte's managed to make this team a bit more resilient, a bit more harder to break down. We're not conceding bad chances. We used to make loads of mistakes in the last 10, 15 minutes of games, and now we're starting to...
What are you saying? As a neutral looking into it, what do you think?
I don't know if it can be. I don't know if it could be sustained throughout the whole year. But if these are bad performances, what happens when there are good performances? When you bring in the right players, eventually, it's kind of mad. Like, I think Conte's in the last 10 games, even dating from back last season, you lot have accumulated the most points as well. So it's a bit. I don't know. You can't always play this kind of counter-attacking kind of thing going on. You need to free up your attacking talents as well at the same time, and I think it might come because they will gel and it will happen. But what else? What does Alan think?
Yo, that's good.
Sorry, I joined halfway through. What was the conversation?
We
Basically,
literally
we're
just started talking about the game and the overall performance and what you thought about. Basically, do you think the way that we're playing right now is sustainable? And if you don't think it is, what do you think we need to do to improve?
I mean, when it works, obviously it's good and it makes it harder for teams. It frustrates teams. But when it doesn't work, like under Mourinho, fans turn quick. So I'm not saying it's as bad as Mourinho or as bad as Nuno, but if we continue playing the way we are and we start losing rather than winning 1-0 or 2-0, it starts going 1-0 and 2-0 in the other direction, fans will start kicking off. For me, I think it's just to start the season and getting things going again, because towards the end of last season, we were tearing things apart. The front three were just destroying teams. So I think it's just basically getting back into the swing of things. I want to see a big improvement because it doesn't look good. And like we say, we were against West Ham team who on paper have had a bad start to the season. But if you look at the results, playing Man City, always a tough game. They were unlucky not to get the win against Nottingham Forest. On another day, they would have won that. And who was the other team they lost to? I can't recall. But they were very close. Teams eluded me. But they've been very unlucky. They've got good players in. Obviously, Paqueta's not going to play tonight because I don't think he's going to play because he's not there.
Paqueta's not. Yeah, he wasn't registered in time.
Scamacca's a good signing for them. They've got a good team. So they're going to cause us problems. I just want to see us a bit more ruthless up front and transition quicker. Whether that's going to be better without Benson Corrin and Basuma in, I don't know. But for me, I think we're outmanned in the middle of in midfield too easy sometimes. So I'd like to see a 3-5-2 at times, have a third man in there. But I think Conte is just going to stick with what he knows. But yeah, it's not been great performances apart from Southampton. But it's just one of them where I think when it clicks, I think same again, our front three will destroy teams.
So
they lost 2-0 to Brighton, by the way. That's the game that eluded you.
Yeah.
So the one, just bringing it back to Nottingham Forest again, the one thing I will say about our performance is that although that they had a lot of the ball, we still created the best chances. I feel like we broke them down and cut through their defense so many times, and it was just a lack of what Alan said, just the front three being a bit more deadly. Son's obviously not looking himself. When Richarlison come on, we looked a lot better. Kane, I think everyone's playing down how good Kane's been at the start of this season. He scored a lot of goals. It's August. Four in August. This is what I mean. Everyone's talking about how Haaland's got 5.
He usually starts slow, doesn't he, as well?
He usually starts, it usually takes till middle of September. And Kane's looked fit. And I said this on the Football Terrace yesterday. Kane's looked fit, hungry, and ready. And for me, I said it, I called it. Kane will get the golden boot this year. I've never seen Kane this hungry and this sharp already. And he scored 4 goals. He loves the manager, bro. Yeah, he scored 4 goals and could have had more. Kane's been good, but even he's had chances where he would usually tuck and finish. Haaland scored a hat-trick, but if you actually deep it and look at it, it was just, a hat-trick is a hat-trick, but come on, I've seen better. It was very,
Is Romero fit, by the way?
Yeah, he's fit, but we're not going to rush him back. There's no...
He's not going to start today.
He probably won't. He'll just be on the bench. Seeing as though we got another game in like 3 days.
So who's going to be a back three?
Right, just before we go into West Ham, I just want to touch on one more thing on the Nottingham Forest game, because there was another big decision, of course, the handball before the penalty. Surely that's a red
card for me. That's
what I want to start like.
Yeah,
are we all in agreement? Cass, did you see that? So the player jumped up pretty much, flicked his hand in the air, stopped Kane from headering it. It's got to be a red card.
So
you know what? The thing is, though, Kane does that all the time. He loves doing it, bro. Like you talk about that, though. You talk about when he jumps in the air and then he bend over.
No. The player just handballed it. He handballed it. It was a straight handball.
And he was kind of pulling Kane down as well. So Kane would have had literally a tapping header at the back.
Oh, you're talking about the Forest game.
Forest game, yeah. And Steve could literally volleyball the ball away out of cards. It's a red card,
it's handball, bro. I don't know why your hand's up there, bro. Why did your hand go up? It's 100%. I feel like you just stopped a goal scoring chance. You should have probably got a red, if I'm being honest.
So I'm probably the only one that sees this differently. I don't see it as a red card, and I'll tell you for why. So when I was doing the watch along, obviously you can't listen to it, so you have to watch it time and time again. When they're jumping, the defender's putting him under enough pressure that he's not actually focused on the ball, like for a direct header on goal. Yes, it's then hit his hand, but I think the way they've looked at it is that because they were contesting the ball and Kane weren't actually looking, and it weren't like it was like a direct header, free header on goal, it was a handball for a penalty, but not a direct red card because it weren't actually, like you've seen like back in the Newcastle days where the defender, I can't remember who, Taylor, I think it was, stuck his hand out and saved. it weren't as blatant as that. So I think that's why they let. And I was all right with that because I expected Kane to bury it, and he didn't. So, but for me, we won the game. I don't think it was going to be a red card because he never had a clear sight goal. The defender was putting him under pressure, and he weren't looking directly at the goal with the, whilst header in it. So for me, I think they got the decision right.
Okay, interesting. But yeah, I mean, and also Suarez against Uruguay against Ghana in the World Cup. That one, we literally stopped the ball from going in. So yeah, I hear what you're saying, and you're right. But as soon as they put that stat up saying Kane has scored his last 21 penalties, I said it. I was like, he's gonna miss now. Commentators cursed. They literally jinxed it. And then lo and behold, Dean Henderson made a save. You know what? Actually, one last thing, Jordz, what we talk about. Yeah. When Dean Henderson saved that penalty, and rightfully so, he celebrated, he took his hat off, waved at the crowd, all this shit, blah, blah, blah. No one said nothing about that. But when obviously Richarlison did the kick-ups and got clattered, everyone was ecstatic and they've been talking about it for 3 or 4 days. What is the difference between Dean Henderson doing that and showboating essentially and waving to the crowd, or Richarlison doing the kick-ups? What is the actual difference?
Yeah, that's good you touched on that because I completely forgot. I really don't get the uproar about him doing kick-ups. We're in a game of football. I'm not being funny. Keepy-uppies are part of football. If a player's going to do that and take the risk, literally, if the player's going to do that and take the risk, then he's willing to take the foul. We got the foul. He didn't complain. He got up. He carried on playing. He literally got the reaction he wanted. And they played into it.
That's the thing that people have forgotten. Like, everyone's made a big deal out of it, but Richarlison never complained he got kicked. He knew he was going to get kicked for it, and he just took it and he got up and carried on. But people are complaining because of that. But this is not the first time I've seen late in the game people doing keep-ups and messing about with a ball to just waste time. I've seen it plenty of times before, and you'll see it more times thereafter. I think it's just one of them things where, because obviously it was a newly promoted team, people don't like Richarlison. That's the reason why he got extra hate. But for me, it's just petty, and people need to grow up and stop being so soft.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Just moving on into the West Ham game, because of course we are playing tonight. We got a big London derby. This is going to be a very hostile environment. I think I saw the record that David Moyes hasn't lost a home game against us.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
He's unbeaten. We've got 1 win, and he's unbeaten in 9, basically. Yeah. So we haven't got a great record at the moment. Yeah. But considering how our away record is, which is unbeaten since March, and how good we've been playing recently, how confident are you guys going into this game?
Alan, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I'm not 100% confident. Purely for that, it's not just the Moyes factor; it's the West Ham factor. I mean, normally when we go there, we lose. I can't remember the last time. I think memory serves me. I can't remember the last time we beat them. I know we beat them at home under Mourinho, and we've beat them at home. But away from home, I can't recall the last time we won. So for me, it's you got
2019. It was the last time. It was a 3-2 win.
I don't recall that. That's what I'm saying. So it's hard to recall when we go there and win. They always show up against us because they hate us. They like to punch up, and it's that type of game where they always, give the best account of themselves. They've got good players. Obviously, for me, the way we're playing, if we go there and sit back and allow that crowd to get up and all that, it's going to be even harder. With Romero out, you've seen in the defence in the last couple of games, it's looked shaky. You get people pulled out position a bit more with Dyer and Sanchez. I can never trust them to put it back together. Although we haven't conceded, you can see a better team would have put chances away. So I'm not 100%, but I think it's a game where we have to show up, dig our heels in and get like a 1-0 or 2-1 win. But it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be an easy game against West Ham at all.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a difficult game, but I do think that we'll win today, I thought initially that it would be a draw, but then when I look at it, I just think we haven't really clicked offensively in the first. Southampton, we were much better in the second half. We put them to the sword. That was our first home game. But since then, we have looked not at our best going forward. But I think today you'll see these guys come into their own, and I think Son will definitely be better. He can't be any worse. Kane hopefully will bag a few. Kulusevski was our most dangerous player on Sunday, but even he took a while.
I didn't think he was that good. He took ages.
He took ages to get going. But when you think about it, when he was direct and running at them, he caused a lot of problems. But
Who's that?
This was probably Kulusevski. From like the 60th, he was good. From the 60th, 70th minute, he was causing them a lot of problems. But he was quiet. I do agree with Kaz as well. He was quite quiet for most of the game. But yeah, I think we'll beat West Ham. West Ham have got some good players though, man. It's not going to be a walk in the park.
Is Paqueta playing today?
Nah, he's not registered in time, so he's not going to.
West Ham have had a really bad start to the season.
Yeah,
literally one draw and 1 win, 3 losses, and it wasn't against 2 like big sides. They lost against Nottingham Forest, as Alan said. They lost against Brighton. 2 teams that aren't like super impressive, but I feel like we can go and break them down. If there's any time that we're going to catch West Ham, it's going to be now. They still have a few holes in their team, which Paqueta and some of these other players that they're getting on late are going to be filling. But Scamacca is still yet to score a Premier League goal, I'm sure. I reckon
there's going to be. I reckon
there might be a few goals today, but I don't. I feel pretty confident that we can go there and win. Honestly, I don't think that they're going to come here and cause us
you would do as a fan, but there's one thing you're missing out. If Romero don't start, who's your big centre back? By the way, I'll wait quick.
Dyer
centre back in the air.
Sanchez.
Dyer's not strong in the air, but yeah, you're 100% about right.
Scamacca is going to be. I reckon Scamacca will be a problem. I reckon Scamacca will be a big problem.
The problem is that I don't think that they're going to get loads of crosses in the box. I don't think they're going to be able to pack us down like Nottingham Forest and some of the other teams have. They're not that good on the ball. They have decent wing play, and they're going to have to rely on a lot of their one-to-one battles with Jared Bowen and some of their other players. But I really don't see them taking control of this game completely and us bending over like we have these last couple of games.
Do you play Perisic again, though? Do you reckon?
100%.
Yeah, definitely. He starts.
Just difference in class.
Emerson Royale has to be dropped now, man. He's had his decent spot at the start of the season, but he's no good going forward. Like, he don't really push you, man, up the field enough.
That's what I'm saying.
Højbjerg as well.
Literally, you can see there was one game, I think against Wolves, there was actually 2 decent crosses he put in. And because no one expects it, no one was there to meet the ball. And you're thinking the first time you do that, it's just not trustworthy. Perisic, you can see when he gets there, the quality of ball, he's putting balls in for
people anticipate it. Yeah,
exactly. People know a quality ball's coming in. But with Royal, I believe, but Doherty, I don't know if he's going to be changed for him. Spence, it's too early for him. For me, it's just we're stuck with Royal until Conte makes up his mind.
Do you think both teams will score? And Narret's asking as well. A big up Narret, by the way, Liverpool fan.
Yeah, I'd put your money on that. I do think there will be both teams to score today, especially with our defense and their players. Like Cass said, they do have a few ways that they could potentially expose us. And in the air is one place that we're weak, especially with corners and set pieces. We make a lot of mistakes. So if there's one place West Ham can find a goal, it would be that.
And what about this thing with Jed Spencer as well? I was thinking about that. Like, this guy I don't know what it is. It's just not his signing. So he's like, yeah, fuck that.
He's young. He's only had a few weeks with us. It's not like he's
Conte. It takes a while for you to get. You don't get into a Conte team just because it takes a while to bring. And Conte even said it. He's been pushing hard in training. He's been doing really well. Hence why he got a few minutes on Sunday. When
he's building him up. He's building him up.
Yeah, he's building him up.
So Basuma's barely had minutes. Lenglet's barely had minutes.
I don't get that. Basuma. You better pay that guy.
In a press conference, Conte said the reason why Basuma hasn't started yet is because although he's ready to go physically and everything like that, he doesn't quite get the Conte tactic. So until he understands technically, that's when he goes in. So as soon as clicks with him, Basuma's in. So that means I think Højbjerg or, well, if you want to say Benton or either or.
Well, you saw he did mention Højbjerg in his press conference also, and he said Højbjerg's pretty much untouchable. He's one of his favorite players, one of the most important players in the system. So, I mean, everyone can hate on Højbjerg as much as you want, but he really is the epitome of a Conte player. He's hard working.
I don't think so.
He breaks down the play, and you can see at times he does play that line breaking pass. He has it in him. Pep didn't want this guy at Bayern for no reason too. Like these managers can see the talent he has. It's just not consistent, and that's the problem with him.
For me, with Højbjerg, we understand he does the dirty stuff and he gives it everything and all that. For me, there's times where he just slows it down too much and he doesn't, and that's what stops us from getting out. For me, if he can add that to his game, because obviously he's got a decent pass forward at times. If he can just be that little bit quicker, we get out more often than not. He's the one because Bentancur can pick up the ball and pass, even if it's left to right or forward. He can do that. He can see it before it happens, turn and pass off, and he keeps it ticking over. Whereas Højbjerg sometimes takes the ball, turns, and then he's in trouble when we go back, and that's what stops us from getting out sometimes. That's what I need to see him do better at, but I don't think he can. That's the reason why I think Bissouma would be better in that role. But I don't hate
I have to disagree on the Højbjerg. I think he does half of what Conte wants in a player, because if we look back on the Chelsea thing, like just on Chelsea, because he played a similar system, not really against Milan. Milan was more of a 3-5-2, rather than a 3-4-3. But you could say that Kulusevski is technically the attacking mid, just going out wide. But Højbjerg does the defensive part well. But if I'm likening him to Matic can dribble with the ball and get out of play and everything like that. And he can actually get you out the pitch. That's what a younger Matic did do. Sometimes Chelsea fans didn't like him, but he does do that. Højbjerg don't do that. Under pressure, he's not that great. Where Matic can smell it. And I just don't think Højbjerg is going to be that guy going forward. I'd rather see maybe a Bissouma. I think Bissouma could probably do that role a little bit better with Bentancur. I think that would probably be the better partnership for me. A bit more balance going forward.
I agree.
As well.
But I don't think Conte agrees. That's the problem. Conte,
I agree as well. But then also
people is always going to be the starter, and one of those Bentancur and Bissouma will rotate with Højbjerg, and that's what I think. That's the way Conte sees it.
Yeah, but people also need to Højbjerg. People don't give him the credit. Every game he makes one or two immaculate line breaking passes, like Jordz said. He set Kane through on a delicious through ball. Kane should have scored. The other game, I mean, literally every game, there's one or two passes where you're like, wow, the guy can pass. And when he plays for Denmark, you see it where he's pushed further forward. Højbjerg can dribble on the ball. I don't know. It's a weird one because at certain times he looks so cumbersome and he looks like he's literally just started playing football. And then there's other moments where he threads a pass or does something. You're like, wow, where did that come from? So it's a bit of a weird one. I need to see more of attacking intent. And like you said, Alan, sometimes he turns. Just go forward, move the ball forward, be a bit more adventurous. So it's a frustrating one because I know he's got it in him, but he needs to do it more frequently. I would prefer Bissouma and Bentancur double pivot, but then Conte definitely loves Højbjerg. So I think for now it's Højbjerg +1 until one of the other guys really make a claim for that other spot. So,
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We've seen at Brighton, Bissouma can do that role where he can do the ugly thing, break up play and carry the ball forward. So I think if once he understands Conte's system and what Conte wants from him, I think as soon as he starts getting minutes, I think Conte will see that he's got that in Bissouma as well. So I think that's when, until Bissouma gets to that level, like of what Conte expects in the team, I think that's the reason why Højbjerg's untouchable. I think Bissouma will push him out eventually, but Conte's doing the right thing in you have to understand before you get in, because if you rush things and they don't understand, that's when problems occur in the team. So for me, Conte's doing the right thing, but we want to see more of our players start. Like 100%. Perisic, obviously as well, people say he's not world-class anymore because he's old, but for me, that's just stupid. You can see he's got world-class abilities. He's that type of player. Yeah. So that's why Conte, he knows Conte's system, he knows what Conte expects. That's why he's in the team before anyone else. So for me, just waiting for that time to come in.
Yeah. Well, the games are coming thick and fast now, so you'll start to see, more rotation and more changes to the lineup. We just had a game on Sunday. We've got a game now. We've got a game on the weekend. So you'll start to see, plus Champions League is literally around the corner. So you will start to see these extra players getting into the lineup and getting rotation.
So for today, what are we thinking about Son and Richarlison? Do we think that Richarlison, after that assist and that his two brief, quite very good cameos, do we think he has to?
It would make sense to start him. I think it makes sense to start him. Maybe over Son or Kulusevski. One of them's got to drop out for me. One, just for fitness as well, like just for that level. Maybe even Kane. Maybe even Kane.
No chance.
I said maybe. I said maybe. I just said maybe. Only just fitness related because you got another game on Saturday, I think. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? It's only one of them.
I can't see Kulusevski getting dropped either. It will be Son or nothing. And personally, for me,
Lucas Moura.
Moura hasn't been in the team because I don't know. I think he's still got a bit of a niggle. I think he starts the same starting three, and possibly if Son's not at it, he comes off 55th minute. But I just don't see him changing it for now.
I do agree. I do think that Conte might do that because you saw how he gave Son a lot of tried to give him a bit more confidence in the press conference, tried to build him up and say, look, this is Said if I was looking for a man to marry my daughter,
I know,
Sonny would be the type of guy that she would look for. Some crazy comments, but you can tell that he probably wants to give him a bit of love to see if he can try and get him out of the rut. But for me, in a game where we're playing against our rivals, it's gonna be rough. Our players are gonna get into it. Richarlison's a player that you need to rattle them. We're playing in their ground. We're gonna force them to be uncomfortable. Richarlison's the type of player that we need on the pitch. So I do hope that he gets a start. I do hope that Conte can see that. But if not, like you said, it will have to be a case that he comes on very early in the second half, so we can really put the pressure on.
For me, Son needs to miss a game. He started, and it's not obviously saying he's a bad player because he's not. His standards are so high from last season. So far this season, you can see it looks like a massive drop-off, but it's because he overperformed and he's underperforming, so it's a bit of a bigger gap. Son, for me, needs to just come out for a game because he doesn't seem to be enjoying it. He's not happy. You're not seeing him smile and being Son on the pitch as well as that. Richarlison has every chance he's got. He's given it absolutely everything. He's played with more intensity, more effort. It looks like he's enjoying it there at Spurs. He's obviously got the assist for Kane. You know, the shithousery that we say about him in the fact that obviously he'll cause teams problems. You know, he'll rile fan bases up. He'll rile the West Ham up as well. And I think going into West Ham, we need a bit more of that. So for me, it's just give Son a game off to rest and bring him back. I think the next game after that is the Champions League game against Marseille. Or is it? No, sorry, it's the weekend for them. Bring him back for Fulham. Yeah, so for me, do that. Give him a game off, put Richarlison in. And obviously, if it doesn't work out, you can bring Son on. But Son, for me, is well underperforming compared to most other people in the team. So for me, he needs to come out.
Yeah, no, definitely agree with that. So just last thing before we finish up, because of course it's a quick show tonight as the game is on. It's deadline day tomorrow, guys. And it's just typical Tottenham. I'm fuming. I can't even lie. This is one topic where I'm absolutely just mad about. Why are we leaving it till the last minute? And we're scrambling around for players like Dan James.
I know you're not scrambling around for him. You are getting him.
That link isn't going away, and it fucking stinks. It stinks. It's disgusting. Like, we started so strongly, and we've just let like Chelsea, West Ham, a lot of teams have spent big in the latter stages of the window. For me, I'm not trying to compare like signings for signings because we've got the players that we wanted. But when you're seeing us linked to Dan James and it's not going away and it's only getting stronger, that is a big concern. And I'd rather.
Where do you reckon he plays? I reckon he goes right wing back. I'll be real. He's got a great work rate.
No. We're looking for him to play right wing as a backup option.
Oh my word! Why Dan James? Do you need English players or something?
Yeah, that's what it is. We need homegrown players.
Yeah, but that is
how much. What's the fee for Dan James? This is music to my ears.
I don't know. It's a loan with an option to buy right now. But Dan James has said that he's not really bothered to leave. He doesn't really because he knows he's not.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I know. I don't want that guy, man. It's fucking.
Well, what are we gonna do, guys? Because like real talk, like as you said, we started off so well, and now we've trailed off, and we're getting embarrassed by our rivals in the fact that Chelsea are continuing to do business and sign top level players.
The Garvado one is a weird one because if you heard that, they've then turned around and denied everything and said he's not for sale and not selling him. That's a strange one. I know. Obviously, when that news came out, it sent a lot of tremors down the Tottenham fan base because he's a player that we all wanted and we were told he's not for sale. And then Chelsea was like, boom, okay, 90 million and keep him for the year. And that for me shows massive intent because, yeah, you're not getting him this season, but you're shoring up your backline for the next 5, 6, 7 years. But now it's turning around and they're saying that he's not for sale. I don't know what's going on there. Who knows? But yeah, man, we're still 2 players short. We still need a attacking quality cam, number 10, whatever you want to call it. I keep being told that we don't play with a number 10, so it will need to be an attacking winger in the mold of a Kulusevski who is creative but also direct. And we still need a top quality centre back. For me, we're short in there. We was meant to be Bastoni, Skriniar, Garvado, Deco, whatever his name is. We were linked to so many top ones at the beginning of the window, and all of that has gone quiet. So we're still 2 players short, in my opinion. We've only got a day left. Hopefully there's some smoke screens and we do some last minute business because right now it's kind of an underwhelming finish. But I would rather we don't bring anyone than bring in Dan James. That guy does not he is a championship player at best. Even if he went to Nottingham Forest right now, a team that just got promoted, he wouldn't be starting there.
With another like 19, 20 signings.
Or even Fulham. Even Fulham. Would Dan James start at Fulham? Probably not. He's not good enough for even the Premier League.
If Nottingham Forest was to go down, I think they got a lot of clauses, in a lot of relegation clauses. If they get you have the option to leave for whatever. Is there anyone in that team you'd actually pick out and be like, you know what, I'll take that one?
Fulham.
Not Fulham, Nottingham Forest.
Oh, sorry, Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest.
It would probably be the youngster, isn't it? Daniel Levy likes a young.
Brennan Johnson.
He likes to buy young. Doesn't
wow.
Brennan Johnson,
Yeah, that came out very wrong. Pause that.
Stop. Wow.
So wait, Alan, what's your thoughts on the transfers then? Because I'm
going to sound obviously like I sound like a dad here, which I am, but I'm not mad at Spurs. I'm just disappointed, and I'll tell you why. We did so much work so early on. In the fact that we got people in early, like Spurs have never done. We did get people in to do what So let's go to keeper, 4-star. Best backup goalkeeper we've had for some time. Galini, Gazzaniga, Joe Hart were not here. So a reliable backup keeper. You've got Richarlison. We've never had a striker as decent as him as backup to Kane, proven, and obviously coming in doing bits off the bench like we've had. Perisic upgraded left. Bissouma will upgrade the midfield. So, and obviously youngster in Spence has got loads of potential. So we've done good business. But then it's got to the point where, and obviously Destiny has gone back to Udinese, which obviously we'll get him next season, which we always seem to do. We've done it with Sarr. So I was like, a decent window. It's then obviously got to the end part here. And I don't know what's gone on. For me, I just don't understand what's happened, why we've gone like Carrasco. For me, I don't believe much of that. I don't think that's actually a thing. I think it's just a fake story. Dan James, nobody wants Dan James. Adama Traore, I don't want Adama Traore. There's been links with some Maximin. I don't want some Maximin because for me,
that one.
For me, don't get me wrong. Some Maximin's got all the ability in the world. But he has this thing where he only performs about 6 or 7 times a season to a great standard. Other than that, he goes missing. So for me, I don't want that. I want people to come in to push the team and perform 16 times out of 38. When they get a chance, I want consistency. Knowing our luck, you're probably going to see there's going to be a free English player that Daniel Levy's going to pick out at the end of the transfer window and just plop in the team and all that. And that's all we're going to do. We need a left centre back, which we haven't got, and we need a central attacking midfielder.
We got Langley that everyone keeps forgetting, but I don't know what my thoughts are.
He might start tonight. He probably starts tonight, no?
The thing is, I'm not even so upset about the centre back because we all understand. Look, we didn't get our top signing, and Bastoni and some of the other good players just went. They weren't available, so there's no point in getting just a stopgap, paying a lot of money for a centre back that we don't really want. We can wait till next season and bring in a top player and spend 60, 70 million on. But why are we still scrambling? I just don't get that. We done so well, like you started, and we haven't signed. The last player that we signed was like 6 weeks ago. The Destiny deal was pretty much wrapped up for agents. Just took long for the here we go. But we've been sitting around sorting out these dead loan deals. So we're not even selling players, just doing basic loans. And we can't identify a few good quality targets to add to our team. It's not about signing backup options for me. It's more about if we want to strive to be Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, you need to have a good quality of players on the bench where you can just see this ain't a backup player. This is the players that are fighting for the same position, and they can be of the same level. So we can't be signing players with the view that.
What do you not think? Talking about Chelsea, what do you not think of the Ziyech link? Do you think
again
that's
another dead player? These players aren't gonna. They're not gonna improve.
But they want like 20 odd million for the geezer, innit? So I thought they were like 8.
He's had a horrible start, and
you not rate your window, by the way. How much do you rate your window? Like being realistic.
I'll be honest, and people might be taken aback by this. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I think people will say that's a bit too high, but like I said, we're only 2 positions away and quality people away from basically having one of the best windows we've ever had. For me, like I said, people will look at this and go, "Oh, Spurs, because they challenged for Champions League, they should be getting named players." Conte's building a team, a squad that he couldn't use. He looked at the bench so many times last season, was like, I can't use anyone. So he's building a squad. and he's getting people being brought in for the way he wants to play in his system and who can adapt to the way he wants to play. So if there's a player as good as whoever that won't come in and fit his way of playing and fit his system, he's not going to buy him. Don't get me wrong, they're not all these signings. Spence was a club signing. But yeah, for me, areas to be addressed were, there's just obviously the 2 quality signings away from being as close to a perfect window as we could have imagined. But the amount of players we've got in the positions we have, for me, it's a decent window.
Yeah, I echo that. I'd say about a 6 or 7 out of 10. Still a few gaps in the squad for me, but we have definitely improved the caliber of this team, and you can even see that when you look at the bench and see the players that are being brought on and that are making a difference. It's big. Perisic, no one, again, like Alan said, people aren't really rating him because of his age, but the guys come in and hit the ground running, and you expect that from a player of his caliber and his experience. Obviously, Basuma, we all know what he can do. We all know that Richarlison is already done. I think Fraser Forster, again, top quality keeper. Obviously, he's not one of the best keepers in the league, but he's a good keeper. He did well for Southampton in a lot of games last season, especially the one against Arsenal where he kept a clean sheet, made 10 good saves. The guy's good. He's good enough. If Lloris gets injured, I'm not, last season, if Lloris got injured, we were fucked. At least this year, we know, yes, Forster's not at the level, but he's good enough, again, to keep us for 3 or 4 games while Lloris comes back. Still frustrating because we know we're so close to being right where we need to be. And I just think now, where's the ambition to really push us to that next level? Go out, make a statement, put the money up and go and get a player. The same way when at the beginning of the window, 60 million for Richarlison, it's a lot of money. But we just said, fuck it, that's who we need. And we went and put the money down. Do the same right now and get in one more quality player. And then I'd say it's a brilliant window. People saying 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Come on, be serious. Like 3 out of 10. Like, really? Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, be serious. Take off your Arsenal or whatever hat you're wearing and rate the players that we brought in as opposed to who was there before. And it is a good window.
The thing is with Arsenal fans, the reason why they don't, and that's fine, they can confuse themselves all they like, it's Arsenal fans. What they don't understand is they're buying people for their first team, obviously, so you need to buy better players. Yeah. We're buying people for our squad. So when you compare Richarlison, who's going to be assisting, like helping and backing up Kane in the front three, you've got them bringing in Jesus that has to hit the ground running because he's their main guy. It's completely 100%. Different. And the more they don't understand it, it's just more embarrassing for them. It really is.
Boy, I don't even know what to say. Your lineup comes out soon, by the way, innit?
Yeah,
it'll come out in the next 15.
Just before we dip, I'll just say that I'll echo what Patrick said. 6.5 to 7 for me. Yeah, is pretty much right. I think we just need that one more signing to show our ambition, and that's the one thing that we're missing. And if we can do that, we're going to be competing.
I mean, there's a day left. Hopefully, we're doing something behind the scenes, and all of, like I said, is a smoke screen. We've done a lot of deals on deadline day, many a year. Hopefully, these guys know what they're doing. Because right now, we're just leaving ourselves a little bit short.
That's all we can hope and pray for.
Yeah,
but end up, that's what I was literally going to say. Score predictions for tonight. What are we thinking, boys?
Alan, go ahead. Okay. Alan, go.
Yeah. For me, it's going to be a 1-0 Spurs or a 2-1 Spurs. For me, I'll go with 2-1 Spurs because I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet tonight. I think West Ham will cause us problems. So I just think we'll have enough to get over the line. So I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs.
I'm going to say 3-1. I think it'll be quite edgy and tight in the first half. They might even go 1-0 up and we go into half time 1-0. But I just think we've got enough quality and good game management now to stay in the game and then put them to the sword. So I think about 3-1.
I'm going to go I'm going to say 2-1. I was thinking 3-1 potentially, but I don't know if we'll be able to get over the line with so many goals away from our ground. But I do think that we are going to win and we are going to score a few goals. Hopefully, R9 is going to get on the score sheet. And I'm going to keep calling him R9.
I said R9.
He's R9.
Snuck that in. I didn't even clock that. Yeah. That's now, so you know what? When you're doing kick-ups and doing assists like that at the outside of the boot, you can hold it for a little bit still. R9. Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna have to do it the other way. I reckon it's gonna be 1-1, or I'm actually gonna say 2-1 West Ham. Ooh, I'll be real, like I feel like missing Romero could really hurt you, man. And you lot know I don't suck up to no other like I don't do them things there yet. But for me, I just feel like missing Romero. I rate the guy. I love him.
Kaz,
I think
we've missed Romero for a while now and still got results. So I know,
but it's just like it's like I'm just thinking of Skamaka, man, and down that left hand side with when you got my man, your right hand side. I don't think he's that good enough, and I feel like what's his name? They just signed for them. They just signed for West Ham. Cornet. I feel like Cornet can really get down that.
I forgot that they got
wing.
Cornet, you know. I forgot they got him.
Yeah, it's
really
really
disappointed in you. I'm just disappointed.
No, I just don't. It's just the way you lot play, and they're not Nottingham Forest, and you have to go off away from a little bit. I don't reckon you might not really drop points, but I reckon West Ham got to turn up a little bit, and I just feel like in the air they're just gonna be a handful, man. Honestly, I really do, but I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game.
It's a fair point.
It's a fair shout. It's not nothing for me to go, oh my God, what you know, like it is what it is. But I think the pressure will be on West Ham to play today. They need to get a result. Their fans are kind of already getting on their backs. And I think that plays into our hands a lot, especially away from home. We just pick them off.
Jordz is going to go to the game and update us, bro.
I'm literally about to go there now. So, pretty much we're going to end up here. Before we do leave the stream, guys, please make sure everyone does smash a like button. There is, how many people are in here, Cass, right now?
Over 60.
Over 60 people in here. So we should have easily, I think, 75 likes.
Yeah.
We nearly do. We're nearly there, man. We're nearly there, man. 67 likes.
Let's just smash it up. Let's get 75. We're real close.
People's stuff's in the description as well, man. Go check out Alan's channel.
Let them plug themselves now. You guys, feel free.
Mr. Clark, go ahead. You go first.
Mr. Clark, sounds very formal. You can find me on my channel. The link's in the description. Time added on. I'll be doing a watch on for the West Ham game tonight, so I expect some Arsenal fans to show up if we're losing, just to mock me. It's fine. You're welcome. I'll still tell you how shit you are. You're welcome. So that's where people can find me, and obviously Twitter at Alan R. Clark 3.
Yeah, so my name's quite easy to find and the same across all platforms as Patrick Tyrant. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. My podcast is called Chatty Patty. It's in the description. By all means, check it out. Give me a like and a follow or subscription. And yeah, man, thank you for tuning in. It's always a pleasure to interact and mingle with all the people in the comments. And keep it going, boys. Keep it going.
Yeah, it's been a good show. And until next week, I guess we'll see you then, innit?